All right. Let's do this matchup chart. This tier is just for bad characters. Like, he wins because he's better. He's just a stronger character. Alright, these are like... .64 or better. Ganondorf. I haven't played this. He definitely beats Mario. Mario can't kill him. Game & Watch. Link he probably beats, but not that much. We'll put Link in like slight win. I'd imagine he beats Mewtwo. I mean, DK. Because, like, Shadow Balls are pretty good against DK. He can edgeguard DK really well. DK can't really edgeguard him. You can still get decent early kills on DK because of down tilt fair. I think he beats Young Link too, but we'll... Probably beats Roy, but Roy's like weird. I think he actually does beat Roy, but I was really bad at it. It's not like super free though. I'm not ranking solo. Luigi is slight favorite too. I think Doc is like even-ish. It's just way harder to play for Mewtwo. But I think if I learn that matchup, it could be even-ish. Pikachu is probably even-ish as well. Samus is slight favor, I think. You can kill Samus super early with up throw. Samus actually has trouble getting down and recovering against Mewtwo. Only thing that Samus really has is missile spam. Is very strong against Mewtwo. Yeah, like Doc Mewtwo, I think it's probably slight Doc favor maybe right now, but I think I just have to play so much more refined. Like I have to fucking like whiff punish everything and like very cleanly up air everything and like hit all my edge guards and never fuck up. It's like Doc can kind of just like spam fair down smash and get really, really far. And pills are, but like I do actually think it's even-ish probably when mastered. Is there any top tier? I think Ices actually could be better than you'd think because of no wobbling. So I'll put it in even-ish. I think Falco is, funnily enough, I don't know if this is even-ish. But like I think Falco's like even-ish / slight loss. I actually think that if I mastered like power shielding with Mewtwo, which I'm already really good at and I haven't practiced it like in Uncle Punch at all, it's actually really fucking hard for Falco to get a kill on Mewtwo. He has to do like a back air 140 plus or like a downer sequence, which Mewtwo still lives a lot of the time. Or like a shine off the top on Yoshi's, but those have limitations. I think Yoshi's also slight loss. I think like Yoshi should go up actually. Like Yoshi is slight loss. The eggs being able to like juggle him and like everything, yeah, it's slight loss. Yeah, I played against all the EU Yoshis. It's just like Yoshi's is way too fucking heavy. And he's actually really good at edge carding Mewtwo too. I think Fox is probably slight loss. 55-45 territory. Marth is probably also 55-45 territory. Maybe Marth might be worse, but I'm not sure. I thought Marth was like 6'4" at least before, but I've gotten so much better at that. One of the things was just like short up fairing over down tilt is actually really consistent with Mewtwo, and you can kind of do it on reaction, like check if they're doing it. I just got way better at like DIing. Like the only real consistent way Marth kills is at like really high percents with up tilts or like nairs, edge guard, stuff like that. Like he doesn't really have any consistent kill setups. Pivot tipper, like fourth or pivot tipper doesn't work. And Mewtwo does lose neutral, but you can kind of like bully yourself in better than I thought. On evens on like small stages, like you wave dash in and then you see like shield or CC, and then start down tilting and like fairing once they start predicting that. F tilt actually does a lot of work too. Like it actually beats Marth Nair and Marth Fair like semi reliably, and then you can just juggle him. Like Mewtwo's edge guarding on Marth is really good once he is far enough. Then I think Sheik is also slight loss, but this one is like Sheik is like closer to 6'4". But Sheik also does struggle with like some things. Like Sheik's punish game just isn't amazing versus Mewtwo. Like it is actually pretty rare to get like a lot of damage from one opening as Sheik versus Mewtwo. You don't get like short up air from down throw. His weight just makes it kind of hard to edge guard him too, like super reliably. But she's still just like she's really hard to break at low percents. But if you play very patiently as Mewtwo, I think there's a way. But this is a matchup that I'm kind of like, it could be worse than I'm giving it credit for, and I just haven't played a good Sheik enough. Then I think we have like 6-4s. Oops. Six Force is like Puff. Puff is probably the one I have the most faith in. This one might be better. This one might, in some fucking weird reality, actually just be slight loss. But it's like so weird to play as Mewtwo. Yeah, I should do 4-6. It's really, really hard to play as Mewtwo, but I actually think this might be more okay than I know. And it's again, it's just like hard for Puff to kill. Down air down air into up smash is the best kill option Puff has, but I think if I played on like either a box or a controller with better light, like if I used mid shield, I actually think it's really hard to poke Mewtwo's shield if I just light shield, and then I can just like hard shield and punish it with a grab or a fair. You can actually juggle Puff. Puff is probably the matchup where backer puts in the most work in neutral as well. Like it actually can compete with Puff backer if you have stage control. But it's just like the whole thing with Puff is that like The advantage isn't that big, but because Puff just ignores 99% of the game and just spams like aerials, like Mewtwo can't really make anything complex, and he can't like do what he does versus Fox, Marth, Sheik, where like he does like, and Falco, where he does like really weird shit. Which makes him like so much harder to deal with because he's fast. He has a lot of weird moves. He can like cheese them a little bit. Versus Puff, there's no cheesing. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You just have to outplay them straight up in like 6-minute games every single time. And Puff can just make mistakes. It's kind of like, it's a little bit like Sheik, except that it's way harder to rest Mewtwo, where like Puff just can't really explode for making a mistake. And yeah, that's just Puff being Puff. I think Falcon is probably the second worst matchup. I think this one could be better. Like I'm not sure about the ratios. Like I don't really care if the Falco's even, but like off the top tiers, Falco's the best. Then I think it's Fox, Yoshi, or Sheik. Marth, and then Sheik, Puff, Falcon in that order. Falcon is playable. I have to lab that one more, because the problem with this one is that like the consistent kill setups he has versus other characters, like down tilt, fair, or up throw, depending on if they're floaty or fast faller, or they just don't really kill against Falcon. So you have to edge guard him to kill him, which is actually very doable. But I think I think this one might be better with more time. You have to like do weird shit like power shield down tilt, power shield up tilt versus his aerials, and you have to reaction tech chase him, and it's like a hard reaction tech chase too. So, I'm not sure. It could be worse than 6-4, but the saving grace is that outside of like down throw knee and some spacings, and I don't even know if down throw knee is true combo. I feel like I can air dodge it a decent amount, but outside of that, like he actually kind of has to stray kill you, like with a stray back air, stray knee, stomp knee at like very specific percent. And you can actually kill him from like a couple openings if you're cracked. But yeah, like Peach is, at least so far, definitely the hardest matchup. Down smash just shits on down tilt so hard. Like you don't even have to see, like, even if you couldn't CC, even if you just had to read down smash, it's still so strong. It's not an impossible matchup. I really do think this one might be like 65-35 or like better if you could maybe get even better. Because you do have fair killing early. Up air and back air are really, really good at juggling Peach. If you like space them perfectly. The honest problem to me is just that like it's just really fucking hard to like get anything started because of turnips. Turnips, like Mewtwo's throw is so bad. It's like how Marth has it, except he can't really swing into them as easily. Maybe I need to like F tilt them better and stuff like that. Like it's actually possible that I'm just bad at that, but they feel very, very oppressive. I think it's maybe a matchup you could just like, you just have to play for timeout. Basically, you have to like plank, like run around, like play super defensive. Mewtwo is faster than Peach. But yeah, Peach is hitting you off stage and then pulling turnips and getting a stitch trace. It's like, that's just my memory of the matchup. You do killer early, like even on Battlefield, up throw gets a 112. On FD, up throw gets a 105. Yoshi's kills even earlier. But building percent against Peach is very hard. But maybe this one's not this bad. I think wobbling ICs is unironically the hardest matchup, though. I think that one's actually the hardest matchup. But not having wobbling is like such a huge swing in that matchup because you can't really, like just F smash Mewtwo off stage and edge guard him. All Ices had to do was call out one thing, one down tilt, and then just instant death. Pre-patch. I mean, pre-patch, pre-walding ban. But now it's actually fine. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm overrating Peach, but I think it's pretty fucking bad. It's also the puff thing where like, even if it's not that bad, it's so clearly bad. Mewtwo has all the pressure on him to play perfectly, and then Peach can just fucking face roll with dash attack, down smash, turnips, and then the matchup is like takes forever. So it's like really fucking hard to. It's really fucking hard to rob a Peach, you know. This is probably my ratio. I think like obviously like this is like peak Mewtwo. Average Mewtwo, you can like add 10 points to all of this. Like one of the biggest things for the Fox matchup, for example, that I learned recently is that up throw upper like doesn't combo if you DI away. The throw's fast, so it's hard, but like once I realized that, it's like it's just so fucking hard for Fox to kill. Like obviously he wins neutral and like he scraps well, but Mewtwo's punish game is legitimately better. I think Mewtwo's somewhere around where Doc Luigi is. Mewtwo's roll away surprisingly helpful against Peach. Peach is too slow. No, I think Peach can chase it, but even if she can't, that's only on like some stages. How are we putting Zelda 65 or better? The only stage that one is playable on is Yoshi's, and I think even on Yoshi's it's bad. I think even on Yoshi's, Mewtwo should win. It's just like when I play that matchup, it's just like, oh, did I throw and like get impatient? All right, then maybe I get kicked. I can still get kicked like 7 times before I die if I have good DI. Cell is just such a bad character that has like nothing except like dash attack, back air, and down air. I mean down smash. So like as people get better versus it's so much easier to get better versus Zelda than it is to get better versus Mewtwo. And this is something people like don't really get. It's that like Mewtwo, you can't really solve the Mewtwo matchup in the same way you can solve Zelda matchup or like Game and Watch or Roy even, because Mewtwo doesn't have an exploitable weakness in neutral. Like that's actually the biggest thing. Like yeah, he's not the best versus CC, but he still has a lot of moves, and in a lot of matchups, his grab makes up for like is a really good answer to people ASDIing down or hard CCing. You know, like he's not the fastest at catching people that like use platforms, but he still has upper up tilt. You know, like you can't platform camp him. And sure, he's not amazing versus projectiles, so you can camp him kind of, but like he still has power shield, he still has like teleport. So you can't like farm him for free. He's not amazing at approaching, but he still has Shadow Ball. He still has like down tilt. He just has so many hard things. I think he's just like extremely fucking hard. Like he's strange, underdeveloped, and very hard. Very hard. Like every single Mewtwo move has like 7 fucking hitboxes. It's ridiculous. And because he has such a big hurt box on his tail, like you actually need to know like how to use like the late part of back air, not just the starting part of back air. You know, it's like Marth, right? Where like the moves move in an arc, except you actually have to care about it way more. Yeah, I think Cell and Bowser are really bad characters. Mewtwo's hurtbox is bad, but you can get around it a lot just by playing better. Like there's some situations where I'm like, "Fuck, what the fuck was that hurtbox?" But a lot of it is just me not accounting for it. Because like the biggest problem with his hurtbox is that it makes dash dancing harder, but he would still not be a dash dance character even if he had a regular character. If he had a regular like hurtbox, he still wouldn't dash as much because he's like Luigi, right? The biggest thing that would change with hurtbox is that he would back air more, but even then, back air's like weak, obviously. Like the back air is the worst when you're just starting out and you're trying to dash dance and shit like that. Down tilt is like legitimately a contender for best move in the game. It's so fucking ridiculous. Back air and Mewtwo's Nair are both like god moves. They're so fucking good. It is ridiculous that it's a frame 5 move that's disjointed, combos at like virtually every percent unless you're CCing it, and like obviously you can't always CC it, and then it has fucking 20 frames ISA, 20. Like you literally cannot react to this move in neutral. Like even Marth down tilt has also just has 20, but has 7 frame startup instead of 5. And obviously doesn't lead to combos. Down tilt is so fucked up. F tilt and up tilt are also very good. And then he just gets carried by having good throws. I don't know if Roy down tilt's worse, honestly. I think Mewtwo down tilt's better. It's 5 frame startup instead of 8, so it's much easier to reaction tech chase with. The main thing is that Roy down tilt's significantly better on shield. But I think that's mostly just because of Mewtwo having not having Roy dash back. Yeah, Mewtwo is actually a very good juggler. Well, we did not reach number 1. We are still number 5.